Okay, here we go. It's gonna be big. They have to give me a legendary that makes sense. Let's go! What is this? What? Feel bamboozled? Bullshit. They have a shit ton of pumpkins. I remember we needed quite a lot for something. There we go, there we go. 44,000 ship value. Let's get to 45 just for fun. Okay, let's get to 50, I guess. Oh, okay, not that much. No. Less. Okay, there we go. Let's go. There's gonna be some big dick loot right there.
What can I do for you?
I wanted to upgrade something up here, I think. We don't have the gold right now. That's fine. That's fine. I'll get that through this playthrough. Why do I have this one? 39% resistance to all elements. I think I saved that because I was an idiot. This one I wanted to replace my strength ring. They're both strength. Fuck me. Okay, let's get rid of this one as well. A cursed enemy, mana per cursed enemy, physical damage when you use. No, okay, this needs to go. This mana regen. Think we just get rid of everything. And this one just seems like big fucking shit. Yeah, I have no idea what link targets are. And I feel like this one is definitely going to be worse than 37% increased minion damage. So that's going to go as well. Summon Reaver. Let's get that back in there just to level it up. I'm not going to use it. But I want to use Summon Reaver. I just don't know. It just seems so shit. But I want it to be good. I want to use it because it's a summon. Get these disenchanted. Yet there's still plenty left. Okay, so there's a day's worth of loot left. Let's. I don't understand what this recombo bombulator does.
I'm here.
Can I, let's close this one. I cannot. I don't understand this. I'll figure that out someday, but not today. Then we go. What do we go? Let's just start by seeing what quest does. That zone. There. Then let's finish up this bar city thingy. What am I doing here? I'm finding a way into a temple. Okay, got it. Then let's read a book. A love letter. Bone chest. Mess this one up. Oh, there was two. Easiest loot of my life. Okay, let's go. I feel like this must be some kind of temple area. So it's just gonna be a door around here we need to find. Did I find it already? Is this how easy the game is? This has very strong like Diablo 2 Act 3 vibes, which is a mix between my favorite and my most hated act. It was such a weird vibe. Like, some of it was really nice. Like some of the levels and maps or whatever, and then some of it was complete shit. Especially on normal mode when you got there as a barbarian and you didn't have whirlwind yet, and you just had to solo attack all of those flayed ones, and there was just a million of them. That was a goddamn nightmare. And weirdly enough, even though I've always preferred head classes and such, I never understood how to make a Necromancer in Diablo 2 work. Like, not anything above normal. So I never understood how, if you spec up, this looks cool, if you spec up completely in pets in Diablo 2,
Make your choice.
I feel like I need to pay attention here. So if you pet up in spec, if you spec up completely in pets in Diablo 2, how the like you need a corpse to summon a skeleton. So how do you get your first corpse? You can get golem, but golems just aren't that strong. And then you can get like I guess you can do the Iron Maiden thing and use your mercenary to get the first corpse and then get it going. But it just never felt as strong to me. Like, and keep in mind, I was a kid playing Diablo 2. I think I was maybe 10, 11, or 12 or something, so I was obviously also a huge retard. So Sorceress and Barbarian was just easier choices. Okay. Runes will appear that will call deadly lightning storms if you remain in them. Sounds annoying. Skulls will appear that spit fire if you remain near them. Also sounds annoying. Cannot gain flash charges. This sounds suicidal. Even though I am so strong, I barely even use flasks. But let's see. Oh yeah, I need to do things. Yep. Get me out of there. I need to... What was that? Like, what killed me there? Like, no joke, I honestly felt everything was going well, and I had blinked out of the issue, and I was safe. Like, there was nothing that was supposed to kill me there. I don't know if it was latency or something. Okay, we're staying on the serious topic. I know it's not latency, but what the fuck was it? What was that? I don't understand those trials. And I don't mind that I'm failing them. I get really annoyed when I don't know why I failed them. So the fact that I don't know why I died annoys me a lot more than I died. And since it's not a thing I can redo, so the learning curve is relatively high for me. So we had one yesterday, well, the day before yesterday. We had one last time. And then we had one today. And there's just such a gap between learning events that I don't really... I haven't learned anything. I just know some, like, after 5 seconds I instantly die in those events. And that's just life. So that's the learning I've come away with. And I'm sure that's not true, but that's just how it feels like from my perspective. Which is a huge shame. I don't like not being able to redo events, especially in the learning stage. Oh my god. Causeway, that's not where we need to go. Is there gonna be a thingy in here? No, that's not. I saw some proper... Okay, it was just a scroll of wisdom. I thought it was a proper loot. Oh. Heal charged him. He's like a useless one to level up, but let's go. Yeah, I really want to look up a list of like best Necromancer Summoner items and best builds, just so I have an idea of what I can expect or what I'm working towards. Because right now it's relatively blind, and I'm sure I can get a little bit of inspiration of what passives I should take, and like maybe I'm using some wrong support skills and so on compared to like the most min-maxed version. Yeah, but it's also fun just playing through and chilling. Because something I really feel like gamers do to sabotage their own games is to min-max everything and really try to optimize whatever they can and focus a lot more on being like, yeah, a lot more focus on efficiency than fun. And I would much rather have fun while playing games than being the most optimized or the best like build available. And I saw this like happen with one of my friends as well when we played Dark and Darker, and he couldn't dodge a single attack for the life of him. So anybody who's played Dark and Darker, you know, it's much more important not to take damage and try to dodge a skill than deal damage. And he just stayed in all the attacks, he took all the damage, he never dodged anything. And then he started, okay, fuck me. Well, talking about not dodging. What a coincidence. So he didn't dodge anything, and then after we lost like a couple of matches in Dark and Darker, which you're bound to do, he started talking about looking up builds online. And it's like, bro, I don't think a build is gonna help you out. Like, the problem is you're face tanking every single damage in the game, and like, no matter what build you're gonna have, it's not gonna be strong enough to fix that. So you have completely different. Like, you are on such a low level, so to speak, that there's a lot easier things you can fix right now that doesn't require build guides or anything, and they will give you a much better return on your investment. But they're not as fun as thinking. Yeah, they might not be as fun as thinking you just need the right build and then everything will be okay, I guess. But if you just improve that in the game, like, I think the experience would be a lot more fun. Yeah. I don't know. It's a bit of a range. Essentially, I just think people should take games for what they are most of the time and just chill and have fun. And it doesn't matter if you can get like a 2% improvement by optimizing something weird in a game compared to having fun. Because a lot of the most optimized specs and the best builds and so on, they're usually not the things that most people find fun to play. So you can have this hyper optimized build that really, like, it might even improve your efficiency by a 50% or 100%, whatever, right? But then it just decreases your fun to a point where you don't enjoy playing the game anymore. It might be super effective, but that's not how you wanted to play, and it's not what you enjoy doing, so why even bother doing that? Just so you can farm something in a game, so you can farm something a little bit faster. Like, then farm it a little bit slower and enjoy every moment of it instead. That way you also have more playtime anyway. I don't know. Just have fun, guys. And if you think it's the most fun in the world being hyper optimized and everything, then do that. Like, nobody is stopping you. But don't feel bad for not having the best build in the world and having a little bit of an ineffective build. It's fine. As long as your fun is at a max, that's all that should really matter. Okay, what am I doing here? I need to find a way into the temple. This looks like a way into a temple, right? But it doesn't have the like door symbol. So either I'm just running around doing things I shouldn't be. Let's go check. Let's go see if I could actually get in from there. I'm getting thirsty. Okay. Loina. New. This looks like the entrance I should go into, but it's not. Then where am I going? Then there must be some kind of tunnel or some shit. So a lot of people comment on my YouTube videos that I should look up build guides, that I should like that I'm destroying my own fun by not knowing the most optimized builds and so on. And yeah, maybe at some point I am. I do feel it now that it would be nice knowing more of these things. Like, there's a lot of mechanics I don't really understand. I don't understand the delves. I don't understand maps. I don't even know if I've unlocked maps. I know I've done something where I had to find Maligaro's map, and then I went into some kind of instance thingy. I have no idea if that's actual maps or that was just a quest with something called map. It's really hard for me to say. And I have no idea if my gear is the best. Should I focus on something else? But I'm destroying all enemies. Like, it's not really a problem. Sometimes I get one-shotted. That's kind of frustrating. And like before, I don't understand the Taskmaster thingies. That I just suddenly die. And there was some incursions I didn't understand either. But it also doesn't seem like it's something I have available all the time. So how important is it really to understand that?
Platter.
It's all about like what is it called? All about like focusing on what is like what makes sense to focus on. Because like my understanding is max level is 100 and I'm not even close, so I have other things to worry about.
Hello, what have you got?
You could not take. No, I need to identify it. And like in my like with my normal understanding of other games, I don't see me gaining any currency except for gold.
What was that?
But gold seems to be just a seasoned currency that is only here for settlers of Kelgar, and then it'll go away. So that's not even like a permanent currency or anything like that. And I'm just seeing me getting random items every time I sell things, but it doesn't feel like currencies to me. But it probably is. Okay, I don't know. What have I missed here, guys? Like, the causeway is a step back. I feel like I have explored the entire map. I haven't found any way into the temple. Like, what's going on here? Seriously. So, like, this feels like the entrance to the temple, right? But that was webbed off. And this feels like it could be something, but it has no like icon. This is to the causeway. We can double check that, but that's just a waste. Like, what is going on here? How can it be so hard to find what I need to do? What have I missed? The causeway. So the causeway is this. So we're not going there. I'm writing that off. Then looking down here, there's nothing. So I have some unexplored map up there, which fuck me if it hides in that. I don't think it will, but it's not impossible, so we will go check that. And this is like my last Hail Mary. If this is not the entrance, then I don't know. But that wasn't it. And then am I really gonna have to Google this? Because I am seriously lost here. Like this just seems silly. Am I not supposed to do this yet? Like, am I supposed to do something else first? I don't think those books has ever really done anything for me. It just seems like expedition and lore dump. I don't think it has ever been like, oh, then you need to do this one, Brave Traveler. We worship and la la la. So okay, I already took this one. But this is not an entrance, and this over here is not an entrance either. This bad boy. And the only thing left from here is this thing that came. I'm like, yeah, this thing up here where the waypoint is. Where I entered the entire map before I explored everything. This is not the entrance then. Read the love letter. What am I missing here, guys? Seriously? I feel so stupid. Yeah, I'll open a window and then we'll Google it. This feels like such a defeat. The mother of spiners PoE. See what we get. There's not a description. This is just like a summary. Find a way to get past the webs, yeah? guide. See what happens. 25 minutes, that's way too fucking long. What is this thing? I've spent an hour uncovering the map of Marl City and I cannot find the entrance. Okay, so at least I'm not the only one. Did you unlock the waypoint in the area? The temple is right next to it. If you haven't found a waypoint, you haven't uncovered the whole map. Go to the opposite side of where you entered, usually top left all the way. Then just run against the back wall of the map if the waypoint doesn't start. It is quite often slightly in the middle edge of the furthest area. The area's giant old city, hence the name. And the temple sits on the hill. The temple's most likely surrounded. Okay, so this feels like I have the waypoint. That's not the problem. Lighting the way, is that the name? Yeah. Getting to re-enter the north. Need to find this is blah blah. Quest completed. You have delivered the fireflies. Wait, what fireflies? Search for the fireflies in Dread Thicket. Dread Thicket is. No, I need to find some fireflies or some shit, but the quest doesn't say that. Oh, okay, so I do need to do this one first, so I've just been wasting my time here. Thanks. Thanks a lot, Obama. Okay. Some other card. There's some dismiss. That seemed a little bit too aggressive. Nah, we got it. Easy.
Too much clutter.
Silk Rose, what is that? A silk robe. Ah, reading. I know how to do that. It's kind of shit. That seems bad as well.
Hello?
I'm gonna identify the rest.
Be well.
I can do. Oops. Knockback support, Iron Will support, Maim support. So this is some kind of damage thing. Let's level that one up. Contract. What is a contract? Is a contract different from a map? Oh shit. Seems like there's a lot of yellows here. Shit, like a triple spawn thingy. Maybe I need to look into setting up a loot filter.
Too much
Cool.
clutter.
Let's go. Sell. Get rich. Oops. Not town polar rope. A huge flask. Wait. Reduce recovery rate. Okay. Immunity to poison. I don't know. It doesn't seem worth it to use.
Greet you.
So we just sell it.
Hello.
Do. We went to the zoo today and I realized like some animals are just like rare spawns. You never really see them. We have like I guess a season card or something to the zoo, so we go there relatively often. And there's some of the animals that we have never seen before or only seen once. So it's like a 5% or 10% rare spawn. And we went there with a like friend couple. It was the first time they were there, so I tried to explain like, well, this one here is actually a rare spawn, so you need to come more often to try and see it, and this is where we saw it, and like, and blah blah blah, and just explain it like completely as if it was a video game, and they just looked at me like I was an idiot and they didn't know what rare spawns were and so on. Like, I don't know how normal people interact. I never knew how like normal people maintain friendships and hang out with friends and so on. I don't know what to talk about. Like, oh, the weather seems great. Yay. Or are you also doing the worky thing? Or what problems do you have in life? Did you also enjoy the Rings of Power? Or the Star Wars Acolyte? I don't know, man. And like, I was gonna say I have very few interests, but I don't think that's true. But I have very niche interests, like financial stocks, rentals, game design, like team management, how to optimize processes and things like that. Those are my interests, and I hyper focus on them. So it's like it's so hard to have a conversation with me if we're not talking about one of those things, and like human psychology and like trying to read people and shit like that. So talking to me about anything like normal or beyond those subjects is such a pain, I think. Like, it's not that like I try to engage and I try to be somewhat interested, but it is so boring and I don't have anything interesting to say about it. And I would just much rather talk about real estate and like so which like what kind of property are you guys buying for investments, and how are you writing this off in taxes, and what does your accountant do with this kind of tax for your company? Like things like that. I could talk about it for so long and for hours, and UX and UI and why things is a bad user experience and why the gaming trends have gone here, there, or like random things like that. But that's not what normal people talk about. Yeah. It feels like normal people topics, there's only so much of them to talk about. Like, what is your mortgage rate? And like, oh, you bought this apartment and you're earning this much money, so now in 20 years you can sell this and you can buy another apartment over here. That's great. And because you got a raise, you're also thinking about getting a new car. That sounds like a terrible investment. So how much are you putting off into your stocks, or you don't do stocks? Okay, you're afraid of investments. Okay, so you just allocate all your money that you get to fixed expenses and so on. Okay, that doesn't sound like a great idea. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. Firefly! I like the show. I heard people really liked it. I saw a couple of episodes and I thought it was complete trash. Like, never understood the hype.
Too much clutter.
I don't like. There was this mummy guy flying around in a spaceship with some kind of relatively generic crew. And then, yeah, it wasn't really Star Wars, it wasn't really Battlestar Galactica,
Greetings.
but it was also kind of like Star Wars, if I remember correctly, like some kind of smuggler or some shit.
Keep your life
I
to
don't
your
know.
own.
Never understood it. But Battlestar Galactica, on the other hand, I thought that was a tremendous show, especially in the beginning, where you actually saw these big space combat, where it was like ship to ship combat, and yeah, and you saw all of that. I thought that was cool, and I don't think a lot of other shows has done that. Like even Star Wars, they don't really do it in the same way. Like just seeing this rain of fire that they put down in Battlestar Galactica, and like it was basically impossible not to, or it was basically impossible to fly between the projectiles and so on for the fighter jets. They would just be completely shattered. And it seemed like most of the defense was just to shoot more guns and hope the bullets intercept each other on the way. I thought it looked really cool. Okay. You know you have too many artists and too much time on your hand when you care about doing different sprites for a quest item like this. This creates no value, and it just takes time, and it makes the system a little bit more complicated. Right. And you can also argue it's attention to detail, right? And yeah, to some extent I would agree with you, but it's also to some other extent just a waste of time. I don't think anyone's life has been improved by having like different Firefly sprites. Truth, cool. What the fuck is this? Bad boy. Why am I getting damage? Let's get out. Oh, oh, oh. Okay. Easy. Let's get out of here. I like how they basically put their company logo in every cutscene.
Be kind, if you can.
Oh shit. Okay. Not as good as I initially thought. That's a lot of strength.
Hello.
Sell it. Now we talk with Sin. Then we should use some passive skill points.
Goodbye.
What was I doing? Is it this one I wanted to do? Or were we doing things over here? Max life and regeneration. That's not bad. We can also do this one. 8% to all max. Link skill can target damageable minions. I don't understand what that means. Convocation has 40% increased cooldown recovery rate. I don't know what that means. There was some kind of... This one. This sounds really good. Like 6% chance to double hit. But all the way down there is complete trash. Like, I don't need any of it. And it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 skill points that way, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and that's like 8 wasted points. I wouldn't get anything out of it. I want more big notes like this one. This seemed cool, but I think that was the only one that really does anything like that. You can apply an additional curse. I know. But I'm getting the feeling that I should probably do curses, but I haven't seen any curses. I guess this might make sense with corpse explosion. It might damage based off the corpse's hit points. This is just energy shield. Yeah, I need more cool notes like this one. I think I've read most of the nearby ones. I alternatively is this shield thingy and this. This just doesn't sound. I thought the shield thing sounded really cool initially, but since then I'm not really sold anymore. Because realistically, what is my stats on a shield? Armor and energy shield. Increased mana regeneration, max life. Build critical strike chains. And of course, I could try to find other shields. That makes more sense. Yeah. So I don't know. Wait, there's an offense here. Wait, I don't think I've seen. I haven't noticed this one before. That one feels new to me. How did I miss that? These might be worth it just because I need so much strength that I don't have. Okay, increase critical strike. Wait, this is huge. So is this 25% to the percentage I already have? Or is this a flat 25%? Like that's gonna make a huge difference here. Because if this is 20% to what I already have, so if they have 10% today, then 20% on top of that, so it becomes 12%, that's kind of shit. But if it's a flat 20%, so if they have 10% today, then they add 20% on top. So it's a 30 in total. That's a whole different ball game. We have to test this out. Strike chains, critical strike multiplier. I guess that means the damage. I think we're gonna max this bad boy out. I think for now I would rather increase the crit chains because I think that's quite low, and then later we can get the crit damage up and running. But there's no point in having crit damage if you never crit. If you get my drift. Okay, let's look at this big dick loot. Are you ready? Are you ready? This is gonna be like 3 legendaries or something. It is gonna be legendary. Let's see. This all look like trash to me. Like, this is just what I get for selling items. That's completely useless. Huge disappointment. I don't think I can really send them out to see. I could probably upgrade this. I didn't know. Guys, I didn't know. I should have known.
Done.
I'm sorry. That's a sign.
Sonya will make good use of them.
Let's get rid of the sailors. They're useless for now.
Done.
They could do some disenchanting since we have a lot of that queued up.
What can
I think we had over a day. Yeah. It's only 16 hours.
Oh, hello there.
Yeah, get rid of this trash. Really disappointed with that loot. Not gonna lie. That was a huge disappointment. So now we go this Vile City. We give her fireflies. He burns this shit away, and then we're Gucci. Now we're cooking. Okay. And can I raise more minions than I expect? No. The skeletons are also still 9. Yes. And the raging heads is 20, but I don't think I've ever hit the 20 cap. Like, they always die beforehand. I guess that's because of the Bernie thing. Oh shit. They just, they can fly through that shit. That's cool. I think it's a shame Path of Exile has such a reputation of complexity and you really need to study everything, and I think that keeps a lot of new players away. And I spoke about it in the beginning as well. There's a lot of quit moments in Path of Exile, and a quit moment is a term used in game design that anytime like it's anytime a player would quit essentially, and it can be for various reasons, right? It can be complexity, it can be like too difficult, it can be confusing UI. Yeah, it has a range of everything. I could probably keep coming up with random examples, but the essence is that a quit moment is anytime a player is faced with anything that would encourage them to quit the game. So in Dark and Darker, for example, it would be the first time you meet another player and you get completely like outplayed and just destroyed, right? It could also be your first death in Dark and Darker, because that difficulty is something most players are not expected, especially now that they can come free to play from Steam. Beforehand, Dark and Darker had a very like hardcore community because you couldn't just get it on Steam, and you needed to go through like a random publisher nobody had heard about, downloading it through their own thing and so on. So they were quite committed to the game, and most of them had probably played during the beta or alpha. But now going into Dark and Darker and just getting destroyed by the first skeleton you meet, that's a potential quit moment. And in Path of Exile, I mentioned it before, it's this fucking map. I got like this skill tree. And it is such a simple fix. Like, there's really no reason to show all of it at once. But like, the counter argument is that the players who will find Path of Exile fun, they like the challenge of the skill tree, right? They want to solve that puzzle and they like those options. And I don't think narrowing down the skill tree, like for new players, I don't think that will take anything away from the hardcore players. And there's a couple of factors to that, because either the hardcore players, they already know about this huge skill tree because their friends told them or they saw something online, right? So they already know this exists. There's no need to show them in like they know it's gonna come. And if they don't know it's gonna come, if they're having a good time, they're gonna continue in the game. And they know like yeah, as long as the game is good, they will keep playing. And I'm hesitating a little bit because I'm arguing with myself, what about if they think it's too simple and like, oh, this is the only skills that are available in the game? Like, they wouldn't think that realistically. Like, I guess they could look at it and be like, oh, so this is such a simple game, it only has like 10 skills I can choose from. No, thank you, goodbye. But I think most hardcore players, they expect the options to open up the further you get into the game. Like, am I done in here? Did I do what I needed to do? Travel to the Temple of Decay. Where am I right now? I'm in a corrupted thingy, right? I don't know. I feel like I'm wasting a lot of time running around, not really knowing what I'm doing. I think if I paid more attention to when I'm done with a zone, yeah, I could be a lot more effective. It's not about needing a different build or anything. It's just keeping track of what I'm actually doing. And I think so far I've started like 2 or 3 reigns that I haven't really finished. I just keep getting sidetracked. And yeah, we're not going back to those subjects. I've forgotten all about what I was saying. I might do some game design or game development streams as well. If I feel like it. Like, I am currently making something in Unity just for fun, and I'm not a good developer, so don't get it twisted. I know some code and I know how to make some shit work, but I've never been like the main developer on a Unity project. I've done like the UI and design and coordination and so on. I've done basically anything but the coding, but it's fun to learn. Hey, there's a lot of shoes. I feel like I've gone shopping with my wife.
We're always.
Let's just identify everything. Might be some good ones in between.
What have you got? We'll get
Good we. There's a lot of stats I need to read.
on it.
But there's another good moment, Ryan. Like whenever I'm presented with way too much text, I just go like, nope, that's too much right now.
Always a pleasure.
And then I just skip over it.
We're on it.
So I can...
I'm
Is there any way to optimize this? So that's locked there, okay.
day before. Things are
So
looking.
can I take this out? Put this one in here?
I'm on it.
Okay. We solved it. We Tetrised it.
Onward and upward, as Danig might say.
Then I think we're gonna sell the rest. I don't need this to clog up the stash. Seems trash. Really? Maybe I really should make use of those shoes more. Seems trash. So this bad boy. So 5% light, increased light radius. Like that was cool in Diablo 2. It's definitely not a stat you go out of your way to get, but if you have it, nice. And then 10% to all elemental resistances. So it has some max life, not a lot, some energy shield, and then resistances. Maybe can I wait, what? Why am I getting some new shoes? Wait, so can I then my shield doesn't work, okay. So for now I'm forced to use that ring to use my shield. Seems trashy. Then let's just sell the ring. No need for it to clog up. We'll find a better one.
Hello.
Shield charge. And I need to remember what I was doing. There we go. Like very much the classic mistake of new developers or indie developers. It is to like completely overscope and scope creep their project. So they want to make something unrealistically big, and I did that too. Okay. So it's usually like, oh, I really like World of Warcraft, so because of that, I'm gonna make my own World of Warcraft with hookers and booze, and that scope is just completely unrealistic. And you need, like, as an indie developer, and essentially any developer, you need to be super fucking realistic with your scope, and you need to understand you can do nowhere near as much as you think you can. Like, games take a shit ton of time to make just the simplest thing. And so either you do like complete hyper casual, where you spend a week like doing something, and that's why you see the games with the like most of the games you see as game ads that takes like a week to make for an experienced small team. The ones where you have a guy shooting and these portals are coming and he chooses the wrong ones every time, and then he can get more guys or better guns, and then he's shooting hordes, right? That's like a hyper casual 1 week project. And they usually only have like 10 to 20 minutes of content, or is some kind of randomly generated very simply, so it can essentially go on forever. So what you do with that is you make it as simple as possible, and you basically only do one game mechanic or one game loop, and then you make it feel like a whole game, but it's not. So some of it could be like infinitely repetitive, even though it says you progress in levels. It might just be the same one with like a 5% increased damage or something like that, if there's even any like meta progression. And then what happens is you release this game, you watch the metrics, and if the metrics reaches a certain level, a certain threshold, then you know you can just pour ad money into this, and you can develop it a little bit more to maybe polish it out, and then that game is done and you move on to the next. I see these games as huge fucking risks, because like you might in the beginning you might make, if you are an experienced developer and so on, you might make one a month if you're really good at keeping the scope down, and that is hard. And then when you really get to a point where you have an effective team, like 3-4 people maybe, then you get it down to 1 week. And that still takes a lot of discipline, and I think it's a very stressful work environment. Some people will enjoy creating new ideas and getting them out there. I think it's very stressful to always have something ready every week. And you need that because most of them are not going to be successful. And the ones who are successful, they will only be successful for like a week, 4 weeks or something. At max a couple of months. And then you need to get all your money back and you need to refund like the next 3 to 6 months development or something like that. So you have time to find the next one where you can make money. Alternatively, you make something like a casual game. And with the rise of the survivor genre, I think that's a really good spot for indie developers to go right now. Because a lot of the game mechanics are relatively simple. It has a lot of replayability. You can get it out relatively fast. And it's something people really want right now. And that's why we're seeing a lot of survivor games. We're seeing Vampire Survivor, Survivor IO, Swarm, Deep Rock Galactic Survivor, and all of that. It's because it's easy. It has a good return on investment. Yeah. And it's something they can just crank out. And I think that's much more realistic. And then just start with that one small idea. Polish it up, get it working, make it really fucking smooth and really fun. And then you can build an entire game around it. Like you just need that one game loop being really, really fun. And then expand on that slowly. But get the first for loop out and released. See player reaction and see the traction and everything. And when it works, just build it and expand it. And it'll be fine. And then we can talk about like why should you release your first multiplayer mobile game without multiplayer, but just fake it. But we can get into that some other day. I think we just do the resistances because we kill things so fast. Oh fuck! I need to remember to summon things before I start these. Wait, why don't I have any pots? What? So there's nothing I like about this build. Monsters enrage after time. And then I get a shitty hat. Let's just make mobs more tanky. I think we can deal with that. I think we have the technology. Jesus, man. Okay. What's the status? We still have all the pets up and running. We could do skellies one more time and then just spam the hits. Skulls. Runes will appear. I don't like the lightning. But let's just keep going. Like, keep going until failure. Like, this is just a learning experience, and I don't need this loot. This loot is trash anyway. Doesn't matter to me. And I don't know if I'm gonna get it if I progress, but might as well progress. Cloud that deals chaos damage over time. Let's try that. Sure. Okay. That was a lot of damage. So where is the cloud? Okay, I found a cloud. Oh. Fuck. Okay. So far, that went a lot better than usual. I'm happy with that. I don't think I got any loot or anything, but the learning was worth it. I can see I lost a little bit of pets. Let's get that back. No, we didn't get anything. So it is very much like continue until failure, then you get nothing, or you can step out and claim the loot. So it's like an extraction event, if you want to look at it like that. Personally, I'm a huge fucking fan of extraction games. I think the concept is brilliant, and I think you can do so much with that genre that we haven't seen yet. I'm so hooked on making something in there. But I think by the time I will have a chance to do it, like, the hype will be over. And it's an interesting genre to work with because I always want to make it as like accessible to as many people as possible. And by definition, the extraction genre isn't really accessible for casual players, and most casual players wouldn't want to play something where you have a chance of losing all of your loot that you just worked for. So it would be really interesting to kind of solve that problem, because then it's gonna pop off and it's gonna be huge. And that's the thing, like, anytime you can get casuals into your game, like, that's just gonna take it to another level, because of course you want the whales and so on mobile, but so this potion seems like shit. But realistically, the casuals is like the foundation of the game, and without that foundation, like, you don't get new players that you can turn into whales, and you don't have that cannon fodder that the whales need to feel good. So if you don't have the cannon fodder, aka the casuals, the whales are not out whaling anyone, because if they're all buying the same loot and so on, then now it becomes a game of skill, and that's not usually what whales wants. They want just to outspend other people and feel good because they could spend more money. And as a game developer, you want people to spend money so you can keep developing the game. And honestly, as a casual game player, you usually want the game to somewhat cater to whales as well. Because if it does, then they are gonna fund the development of the game that you are enjoying for very little cost of free to play. What the fuck was that? And that just seemed like a win-win for me overall. Okay, getting a lot of rogue markers now. I think I would rather have a white flask than this one now that I've figured out it has like only 2 charges, essentially. So when talking like monetization and gaming from a game developer's perspective, you look at a lot of different metrics. Like, you have retention, you have average spend and shit like that. It's relatively simple, to be honest. But trying to make... Oh, fuck, I didn't want to put them in here. But trying to make heads and tails of it can sometimes be confusing. And getting the data is just one aspect of it. Then you need
Greetings.
to utilize the data, and that's usually where people fall short. Back in cloak. Oh, that sounds boring.
Keep your life to your own.
So you need some way, like, you need to track actionable measurements, and it's the same with any business. So actionable measurements, and then you need to make heads and tails of it. And there's usually a trade-off, right? So you need to understand what is this mechanic, like, what are you trying to achieve with it? Oops. If we make a battle pass, why are we making a battle pass? Are we making a battle pass to increase retention? Are we doing it to increase revenue? Like, why are we making it? What's the point of it? And as a cynical gamer, you might be like, yeah, they just do it for easy money. Yeah, maybe. Like, that's definitely possible. And since battle passes are so popular, at some point when it becomes like industry standard, people just stop thinking about why are we doing this, and they just start doing it because everybody else is doing it. But implementing things just because everybody else is really dangerous. And that's where you start to see bad games and bad decisions. So implementing a battle pass without knowing what is the goal of your battle pass and understanding what did other companies achieve by implementing a battle pass. Because yes, it probably increases the revenue, like I know it does, I've done it myself. But it only does so if you can create value in the battle pass. Okay, the fuck was that? So if you don't offer rewards inside the battle pass, players actually won't, like they're not gonna buy it, and it might actually hurt your revenue or it might hurt retention. And on the other hand, if your value inside the battle pass is too good, people might stop buying other things. So just because your battle pass is selling a lot, that doesn't mean you necessarily make more money. Like that purchase could be cannibalized from another purchase that player would have made. So would they have made would they have bought the $100 pack instead of the battle pass, but now they bought the battle pass because it's usually a lot better value? So did you just cheat yourself out of $90 by implementing the battle pass? Maybe. What did you get out of it? Did you at least get more retention out of it? Was that the trade-off you chose to make? Or did you just lose $90 because you thought making a battle pass was a good idea? So I think the best battle pieces, like the battle passes I like the best, are the ones where the very first reward in the battle pass is like a very attractive cosmetic or something the players want, because that is usually something players want to pay for, and it creates value for them. It's relatively simple if you've set up a good system. It's relatively simple to deliver, and it's not going to subtract from your other purchases, like if you have currency purchases or something like that. It's not going to subtract from that. So the very first reward, paid to in a battle pass, should be something like that, because that way everybody will like basically get that reward immediately. So they get immediate what is it called? They get an immediate reward once they purchase something, and buying things should feel amazing. It should be one of the best like feelings in the game. And then later in the battle pass, you can have like the really high value items to create the retention. And then I think most battle passes don't do this. I haven't seen a lot who does it. But I think a battle pass should just give you all the loot that you paid for, like inside the battle pass, when the time period is over. That way you earn everything, and by playing more you just unlock the rewards sooner. But if you don't have time and you don't manage to get some of the levels or rewards, they should just be sent to you at the end of the period. I think that's the only ethical way of doing it. And I don't think that's the norm today. I think people do it so if you don't reach certain level and unlock it, then you don't get that reward. And yeah. But I would like to see it just being sent to you somehow when the season ends. That would be really jazzy. And if you ever make like some kind of indie game or whatever, okay, maybe we focus on the boss for now. Okay, super fucking easy. When is it gonna be immortal? There we go. All bosses need some kind of immortality time apparently. Otherwise it wouldn't be a real boss. Good shit up and running. Wait, did it heal? Did we take it down too much and then it healed up? The fuck was that? Like I had like a split second to dodge that? I know. I feel so... I feel like that was bullshit. Doesn't look like a good ring. Get this loot. So I think we finish this act. We look at these too much text. 23 intelligence, maximum. Okay, this one is kind of a banger. Has a lot of shield, has a lot of max life. This is just straight up better than the other one. What about this? Has a lot of evasion and max life, but I think the other one is just better. Yeah. That was nice.
Goodbye.
So I need to figure out... Oh, I don't have enough decks.
Greetings.
Am I close? Kinda close.
Hello.
But realistically, I don't think I'm gonna get that dex. Am I supposed to get these other base stats? I don't think I am. Oh yeah. Should I do something with this? Like, are these unlocked or should I be doing something? I have no idea what it does. Hello, Tag Bambi. Doing something? I need to find this city here. Let's get this loot. What was that? Ah, okay. So one of the turn a normal item into something cool. Whoop, 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 whoop. Why, like... Oh, bleed, then I shouldn't move. I think that's how it works in this game. Let's get it. Ooh. Oh, that's a lot of specials. You get it. What happens if I town portal here? Since I haven't found a town in this act yet. Will I just go to the previous act? Or did I just break the game? Well, are you drinking? I am just drinking water. But I am considering going to get a squash. I would like one squash.
Hello.
Are you a water boy? Yeah. I am a water boy. I am a very watery boy.
Many an goodbye.
Omen one. Ooh. Think. Wait. So, I'm guessing this is when I'm introduced to bleeding attacks, and I'm not used to not being allowed to move. So I need to get used to that. What are these fucking creepy things? Yeah. Dark Scat. Yay! Soda. I love my wife just brings me random things when I'm thirsty or whatever. Thirsty or hungry. I think when we find a town, I might look up some guidelines to summoning builds or something. Just, I want to know what am I aiming towards, like what can I expect to get. Because at this point I don't really have any chase. I'm not chasing anything, and I'm not interested in anything, so to speak. What is going on here? So I don't know if there's any new abilities. I don't know if there's any new skills or anything like the passive tree. I feel like I've done most of that. There's nothing I'm looking forward to now.
Keep your life to your
So now I need that goal, or like that chase. What's coming up? What am I gonna get? How much better can this actually get? Because right now I'm not having a sense of progression. I'm just doing the quest to do the quests, but I don't have a motivation for why I'm doing the quest. Except that it says over here that I need to do the quest, and that's not super motivating. But I think this is like a good natural progression that now I've gotten to the point in the game where it makes sense for me to look this up, and I'm curious and I'm interested. I'm ready to receive this info. Why are there two different? What is the other door? Oh. Wait, is this a dead end? Is this like a trick door? Did the game just trick me? Oh, okay, no. Oops, 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 oops. This is... I don't know, I always draw references to other things. Reminds me very much of Diablo 3 Act something, where you fight on the walls. I don't remember what act that is. It was one of my least favorite areas. I didn't like the design. I don't like the progression of these kind of things usually. I don't know why, because it is very streamlined. Like, progression, right? You can only go one way. So there's no chance of you going the wrong way. Maybe that's what I didn't like about the Diablo 3 version. There was too many like dead ends and ways to go. Boop, 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 boop. I just want the gold. I think it makes sense to go down here. Yes. The Sun encampment.
The foulest thaumaturgy hangs in the air. I approve.
Delicious.
Remember, humanity needs us.
Good. Goodbye.
Okay.
Bring me back something nicer.
What is this? There we go. Imperial Gardens, Act 3. Not yet completed. Ah.
Be careful.
What is the drink? Is it Fanta? It is not Fanta because I don't enable Nazi sodas.
You're looking
No.
sharp.
Well, to be fair, Fanta is a Nazi soda, but it was just a joke. I don't enable it. It just tastes terrible. It is a Danish drink. Squash. Yeah, you probably never heard of it. You're not cool enough to know about it. Like, you know, if you know, you know. If you don't know, you don't know.
Until next time.
Okay. Let's try. PoE Settlers of Calgary minion builds. Let's see what we get here. My top 4 minion league. Minion hurdles and builds. Bison minion necromancer. What if we do Settlers of Calgary necromancer build? Poison SRS. I don't know what that means. 7 league star. Let's try this one.
Well, hello YouTube. This is Baylor Mage again, and we've been working on the new Poison SRS for this league, which somehow got buffed again. We're more powerful again. The removal of Blessing did not hurt us nearly as much as we thought.
So what I'm saying is just a lot of buffs and auras. He has 3 pets here, and then 2, and then just a shit ton of heads.
It was going to. We're stronger, we deal more damage, we go faster, everything is better.
Does he
The only
keep
thing
the
that didn't
heads
get
up?
better is the tankiness.
Because I can see he's not summoning them himself, so there must be some kind of item or combination or whatever. Some kind of combo.
But it didn't really get any worse unless you were anyway. So with the new path of building, not a whole lot has changed.
Wait, what is this? What the fuck is that? Let's start with this one. What is that? Why does he have that? Is it this one? Wand Mastery? Are you serious? Wait. He has something I don't? What the fuck? Okay. And then he built down to this one? What is that? What's going on? So he has these 2 down here. Down here. He has this one. What? Change to block? What? And this one? So block thingy. And then this one. Tireless. Max life. What? So he's just a super tank. So is this one? Plus 2% to all max resistances? 2%? That's nothing, bro. Why you do that? Then this one? What is that? Is these go in there? One of these two, maybe this one? Yeah, it's that one. He has both of these. Increase max energy shield, max life. So this is just a tanking node. Well, I die quite certainly sometimes. Maybe tanking wouldn't be too bad. But why does he have something up here that I don't? I feel like I'm being cheated here. What is this? I have this one. I have this one. But I don't have this.
Changed. So we have gotten to give up our blessing aura, which means we don't have haste anymore. Which means that our offhand that used to be a blessing aura is now either what I would probably run, which is just golem feeding frenzy and minion life to keep the golem alive a little longer, or if you didn't have a problem with the golem dying just occasionally because he's pretty easy to resummon, you could use Convocate.
I've never had a golem die. Like, they are fucking immortal. No need to give them tankiness. Recalls on all minions that are following you to your location. Grants them a temporary life regeneration effect. Sounds fucking useless. Like, the minions should just be out there dealing damage. Like, why would you ever summon them to yourself? Pointless.
If you wanted a button to press, this would give you the ability to like drag your animate guardian and specters out of danger, but it's a button to press. It's an active button.
Yeah.
And
who wants buttons to press? Like, that's not why we play summoners.
Try to avoid those, so I'm just going to put minion life on it.
Exactly.
And assume that none of my minions will die. But that choice is up to you. That's fine. The other change is we will not be running a haste aura at all, but we will still keep haste as a Vaal haste. It does mean we will not be running a haste aura at all, but we will still keep.
Cast a temporary aura that increases the movement speed, attack speed, and cast speed of you and your allies. Does minions count as allies? Or are minions different than allies? Because I can definitely see this doing work if it applies to minions as well.
Keep haste as a Vaal haste. It does mean we can put all of our auras together in one item. So that's fine. However, the loss of the extra aura. That sounds bad, except we got the corpse specters back from Affliction. They will now be in ritual encounters as part of the base game. Now.
What? I haven't understood anything he's been saying for the last 10 seconds.
They have been nerfed from the Affliction versions. Okay, so we're not going to have quite the same power, but the old auras used to be something like level 30 to 35 auras, where I'm working on the assumption that they're going to be like level 20 auras instead. Version at every stage of this build now keeps Death Attunement. We are always going to use 3 specters, assuming that they are at least level 20 auras, which I am positive they will be. So we've got 3 specters that we're going to be using. First, Hulking Miscreants. We don't actually need perfect ones here, although I've selected perfect ones. But what we really need is this bit. Nearby Constructs, which is SRS, 100% increased damage and 30%.
Like, what the fuck is this? What is this? How do you get this? What?
Attack and cast speed. Now, you might as well get the perfect one because it is 20% Fizz's extra lightning. We don't really scale lightning. SRS is base Fizz. It's technically
What the fuck is SIS?
a little bit of extra damage, but also not damage we're scaling in any way, so it's not super important to have a perfect one, but we might as well. But 30% attack and cast speed and 100% increased damage, huge. Huge. All the damage made up for and then some by losing haste.
Okay.
So that is great. Then we go.
That's wonderful, bro.
Judgmental Spirit. So the perfect Judgmental Spirit.
So what are these things? Is it items? Is it gems? Is it like, what? How do you get this? What is this? Let's just go through. It's only 4 more minutes. Let's go through it, but I have learned nothing so far. It's quite amazing.
Just has a buttload of flat chaos and casts discipline. So we get a whole bunch of extra energy shield. This is shown in our path of building here. We go from 1600 ES to 2200 ES.
What?
The one issue with path of building is you can't have all 3 of these specters active at once. So it is important to know that like the damage buffs coming from each of these specters will all be applied at the same time.
So, with the specters, is he going out to kill these minions or like these mobs, and then he raises it as a specter, and that's why there's different kinds. So not only do you raise a mob to become a specter and like then have it as a head, but it also matters what kind of mob you're raising, and based on that it changes, and it changes significantly. So essentially, that's another quit moment. Like, why does it need to be so complicated? And it doesn't sound fun to me having to go out and be like, oh, I need to go to this egg, kill this mob, and raise it as a specter. But to be fair, our specters die so rarely. So once it's done, you don't really need to do it that often. Yeah, I don't know.
Not one at a time, so you can see our DPS like jumping around. Everything is all the numbers move. So you'll actually have more damage and more tankiness than it looks here because you're gonna have all 3 specters, not one. But that is a lot of extra energy shield, which is fantastic. And the flat is fantastic as well. So we love that. We love that.
Yeah,
huge.
Love it.
And then my
Amazing.
choice for the last one is going to be Forest Warriors, which the perfect Forest Warrior just casts haste. It's just got haste on just
Forest
all the time.
Warrior.
So there's a haste aura back. So we don't even really lose haste. It'll have a little less effectiveness than ours.
So I need to go and summon a tiger. That's what he's telling me. And yeah, can't even see where I need to get these. But I'm kind of more inclined to get the turtle just because it looks cute.
But we've got it back. Fantastic. That being said, those are just my 3 choices. Oh, wait. I decided not to go perfect Forest Warrior. Well, okay. So I'm torn actually between perfect Forest Tiger and perfect Forest Warrior.
Why is he talking like he's talking about perfect and not perfect and so on? How do you know the difference? Like, it's just a mob. How do you know if you're gonna summon a perfect vector or not? Is that how do you see that? Like, where is that info? What the fuck? Like, I'm just scratching the surface of the complexity of PoE, but it's like, yeah, it has like, I'm getting flashbacks to EVE Online.
So the warrior gives us Cull and Onslaught, and the tiger gives us haste. We can already get Cull from a Kingmaker on the Animate Guardian, so the
Obviously.
Cull part isn't important, which means
No.
I'm trying to figure out whether I like Onslaught more or whether I like the haste aura more.
Yeah.
I think I'm leaning towards Onslaught,
Of course.
but I'm going to be
Because you want Onslaught. Because it does something. This guide is definitely not meant for my knowledge level, which is perfectly fine. It doesn't have to. But it's just listening to him talk and probably say a lot of good things and a lot of interesting things just goes way over my head. I have no idea what the fuck is going on here. Like, what? I don't even know what Onslaught does. And he's talking about what's best, Onslaught or Haste. And I don't know what are the differences between these two and why is it an interesting choice. Like, I don't have that insight at all. So this is just, yeah, relatively pointless.
be honest, if you got 4 specters, you would just take both and not choose. I think I'm going to go with Onslaught, but there are a lot of other options here. So these will be the specters I pick.
Plenty of options.
I'm gonna pick the Onslaught one, but these are going to be the ones that I pick. That doesn't mean that they're the only options. There's also, you can get any purity for some more max res, which we're already scaling a bit of max res, especially cold. Getting an extra purity for some extra max res for certain boss fights would be cool. There's a whole bunch of things we could do here. There's so many specters here that could be very, very useful that I couldn't even go through them all if I wanted to. It'd be another 40-minute video. We don't want to do that, but
Yeah, I'm happy he's not doing that because that sounds fucking boring at this point. But it's probably very valuable information.
there's a lot here. You can have a look through, you can experiment with them. These are the 3 that I'm going with, but feel free to change these up however you'd like. Yeah,
However, I don't fucking know. I didn't even know they had different skills. I thought they might have like different attacks, or then it has a swipe or a leap or something, like small things. But like, this is just another fucking PhD level knowledge base you need here.
there's just a lot going on. So because of that, we got all of our damage back. We got some of our tankiness back with the extra energy shield. We managed to get a little bit of extra max res without really costing us anything because we're already pathing here. It also means early
He's focusing so much more on survivability than I am. Like, he's taking all of the tanky notes and everything, and I'm just doing minion damage, minion health. Like, I take as little as possible for myself and just buff minions.
we've got a node to get corrupting blood immunity. Basically everything about this got better. So, ooh, hello. So there we go. That's Poison SRS updated. The full written guide has also been updated. There'll be a link to that.
Jesus Christ, what is this? What is this shit? like, who looks at this and gets excited? Like, oh yeah, that yellow item there is super cool. Like, well, I have no idea what's going on here. It's just, I think looking at an Excel sheet is more exciting than this.
That in the description, so go check that one out as well. We have everything we always used to have. We've got some min-maxing stuff, some hybrid gear for when you first get to maps, and all of the leveling trees for all of the progression. And there you go.
Trees.
That is everything. Poison SRS will be even better for anybody who is waiting on the Holy Relic guide. That'll be coming out next, so look out for that one. I will see everybody next time. Goodbye.
Probably a nice guide. Give him a like. I'm gonna save this and put it in the chat, and then I'm gonna put it in the YouTube thumbnail if we do that. Ooh, it's me. It's a me, Mario. Okay. That was enough guide for now. Let's see if the sailors came back. Oh yeah, we didn't send sailors out, so obviously they're not back. But can I not? I think I can. Aurichalcum. Why don't I have Aurichalcum? I feel like I should have a lot of that. Because we turned it all into bars. Okay. Maybe shouldn't have done that. But are we not getting anything right now? Do I need to go over there to see? Mining info. No Aurichalcum, so we won't have anything tomorrow either. I don't know if there's any way for us to get it. But we can upgrade. Yes.
At what point do I upgrade our designation from an outpost to a town?
Can establish mapping. Okay. Should we cap out the black market deals? It feels like the Diablo 2 gamble things, whereas like 99.9% of the time pointless.
Local.
Do we have... I could do this, but it's only 15,000. Feel that valuable. Fuck it. I say that's it for today. Thank you for watching, guys. Until next time. Bye.